Hey everyone, I do hope you're having a good time and I do hope you had a really good lunch. If you missed that, that was really something. But it's time now to move on to our post-lunch sessions, and we've got some really good sessions lined up for you. The next phase, it's a very special guest whom I have to welcome onto the stage. Our upcoming speaker is a luminary. He's a luminary in the realm of advertising. Piyush Pandey, the chairman of Global Creative at Ogilvy Worldwide. He's also the executive chairman of Ogilvy India. He's got multiple honors from the Padma Shri and a range of others, a testament, of course, to his contributions to the entire field. He's, by the way, pioneered the infusion of indigenous perspectives into Indian advertising, a visionary effort that has really reshaped the industry's landscape for a considerable period of time. Please welcome onto the stage Mr. Piyush Pandey.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Good afternoon to everybody, and don't go by what Vikram says, because he's a college friend of mine, and a few years junior. He doesn't want to be nasty to me, so he says all the good things. Okay, we have very little time, so I'll get to the point as fast as I can. Number one thing is I don't get the opportunity of spending time with so many young entrepreneurs and innovators. So I'm looking forward to it. There are a number of things that I've worked on which have parallels in a very different way, and perhaps some lessons for you. I'm going to stick to that and take you through a journey where life was not very different. I'm going to talk to you about two brands that I have lived with for 40 years, and they were small startups. And these were Asian Paints and Pidilite. Asian Paints, I remember doing an ad for Asian Paints in the 80s, where Gattu was carrying the brush, and on a milestone, he was writing 100 crores. It is 34,000 crores company today. And Pidilite was much smaller than that, and it's a 12,000 crore company. And I'm not getting into valuations, otherwise it'll go into some lakhs. Those are the numbers you guys count. And I always say, look at the share of the market and not evaluations if you want to go somewhere. That's my belief. You may or may not agree with it. Now, if you go to how did these people build their businesses? Every business is built first on distribution. So they build their distribution slowly and softly in those days, 70s and 80s. And you have no such problem. Your great partners in Amazon, distribution is not that difficult for you. And that reminds me of a story, that how strong the distribution is. I have a slightly large house in Goa. That's the only place I can get a large house. And my wife and I were staying there. My mother-in-law was staying there. And there is a fairly large fleet of helpers. One day, one friend of ours who was a captain on a ship, he said, you got a large house, you got some elderly people here. Have you ever done a fire drill? So I said, no, we have never done a fire drill. So I'll teach you how to do a fire drill. So I said, I don't want to see this. I've seen it in hotels and cruises and all. So I'm going to stand in the balcony. So he went and said, fire, fire, fire. All of them assembled under a tree. And he started off, I said, hang on. Give it 5 minutes, the Amazon guy will be here. He's here every day. So he also must know the drill. So that's the kind of distribution that you command. And thereafter, you obviously get into your scenario of performance marketing. I don't know who got this word, as if the others don't do performance. So that bewilders me at times. And the game is fantastic. I mean, if you go to, and I'm going to take some examples which you may not like, but the funda is the same. When you go to a place which is famous for chana jor garam, and there are 15 guys selling it. So, which one do you go for? There's somebody who's got to carry something more than performance marketing. And I'll get to the point shortly. When you go to a place which is selling a whole lot of watermelons, lines, you go to Bombay to Pune, very sexy looking watermelons. Which one do you buy? Probably you buy the one that was singing the best song, because they all look the same. And performance marketing, actually, you are looking the same. What the Pidilites and the Asian Paints did was they got into some image building at some point of time. Because somebody will replicate your product. Somebody will be there on that performance marketing. But if you have something going for you which touches the heart, you probably have an advantage. And that's why I took the examples of Pidilite and Asian Paints. So I want to show you something, brands which were launched, and launched not just in my era, but launched by me. And they are big brands today. What were they doing? They were creating an image while they were doing all those things that you do. They were in the shops, where they were placed in the shops. That was their performance marketing. When they were distributed in various outlets, that was their distribution. They didn't have Amazons. But they were trying to do their best in those scenarios. And that is the difference. Have a look at these 3 ads. Ladies who are supposed to help me.
मेरा वाला ब्लू नहीं, मेरा वाला एप्कोलाइट कहिए. जो शेड एप्कोलाइट में नहीं, वो शायद कहीं नहीं.
मारो वालो क्रीम.
So that's how they came up with these brands and built these brands. And I believe there is a lot of discussion amongst you people that advertising is too expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. You will have to negotiate with the Amazons of the world to give you some placement which helps you in your image building, and doing it in a consistent fashion. So that those same people, when they come to buy a paint or a adhesive, they have a chosen one because you have touched their hearts somewhere. And touching their hearts is a matter of consistency. You can't do one ad and say, okay, now I'm gone. I spent all my money. You don't have to spend all your money. These are creative products, and I still remember with a very big multinational asked me one day about Fevicol And so how come they, and this is long time back, when 30 crores was a big expenditure. There's a Piyush tell me, how do they spend 30 crores? And I told this large multinational, I said, because they use their heads, unlike you. You run stupid ads 30 times a day. They run a great ad once in 30 days. And people think that it runs all the time. So these marketers were smart. They were smart. They were doing the same things as you with a different name. And they were consistent. And after 60 years, the brands have been consistent. I'm going to talk to you about two stories. One of Fevicol of 2 years back, and one of Asian Paints. See these two ads, then I'll talk about them.
शर्मा की दुल्हन जो ब्याह के आई, संग टू सीटर सोफा ले आई। पड़ गयो नाम शर्मा इनका सोफा, हाय रे शर्मा इनका सोफा। शर्मा इन बहन का ब्याह कराइन, सोफा पे नवा कपड़ा चढ़ाइन। बन गयो वो मिसरा इनका सोफा, हाय रे मिसरा इनका सोफा। मिसरा इनका लड़का कलेक्टर बनेलू, सोफा पे रख जीन चमड़ा चढ़ेलू। बन गो कलेक्टर इनका सोफा, हाय रे कलेक्टर इनका सोफा। कलेक्टर की बिटिया लव मैरिज करेली, सोफा पे बंगाली किरमिट चढ़ेली। बन गो वो बंगालन का सोफा, हाय रे बंगालन का सोफा। बड़ा घरों का प्यार निपटाओ, सोफा 60 का होने को आओ। देखी गंगा पार की शादी, देखी देश के बाहर की शादी। अब कोई ब्याह कराए या न कराए, हाय पर सोफा बनाए तो दिल से बनाए।
हर घर चुपचाप से ये कहता है कि अंदर इसमें कौन रहता है।
कितना झगड़ा किया था तुमने इस हरे रंग को?
छत बताती है ये किसका आसमां है, रंग कहते हैं किसका ये जहां है। कमरों में किसकी कल्पना झलकती है, इस फर्श पर नंगे पैर किसके बच्चे चलते हैं। कौन चुन चुन के इसे प्यार से सजाता है, कौन इस मकान में अपना घर बसाता है। हर घर चुपचाप से ये कहता है कि अंदर इसमें कौन रहता है। एशियन पेंट्स, क्योंकि हर घर कुछ कहता है।
If you look at both these ads, none of them is desperately selling anything. They are both image builders. If you look at 60 years of Fevicol, it's not saying that you have to use this much and goes there and goes there. Nothing. Just saying 60 years of fantastic association and changing lives of people from marriages, taking their point of view. And if you look at Asian Paints, when I wrote that ad, I also didn't know, client also didn't know, that from a paint company, it would become a home decor company. Today, Har Ghar Kuch Kehta has become something which drives their brand completely. They've made kitchens, they made wallpaper, they made all kinds of things. So it is the brand philosophy now. It doesn't say anything what kind of paints you sell, what I just showed you. But that is the difference you can make. That is the difference, whichever way. I'm not saying go and make TV ads, but something about you that moves somebody. Something about you. Did I talk to you about Bikaneri Bhujia? No. Bikaner is known for Bikaneri Bhujia. You go there, hundreds of shops, they all sell Bikaneri Bhujia. But in between there comes the Haldiram. This Bhujia is no different from the Jaldiram from the other side, only fast food hota hai Jaldiram. And you have Bikaji. You have 2-3 of them which have become world brands. And you guys are going to get into world brands. I was in the south of France once, and there was a Haldiram out there with everything written in French. I say, hello, this is great stuff. And as you go into world markets, you will go into languages. Some ads I showed you right now are turn it to their environment, they will work anywhere. They're all universal ideas. You'll have to see what suits your budget. But definitely don't think of budgets being something that stop you. They cannot stop you. If I like you as a person, I won't judge you on your CV. I'll judge you on the kind of person you are, the kind of person that I want to associate with. That's the way it always goes. And all these guys were highly creative people. As I told you earlier, that they didn't spend that kind of money. And as you go into a business, you will buy some other businesses. I'm sure you will buy some other businesses, and you'll do well in those. Pidlite bought a brand called M-Seal from Mahindra and Mahindra for 20 crores. And I met Anand Mahindra at a party, and he said, "You are such an asshole." I said, "Why, Anand? You had never spoken to me like this." He said, "If you had made this ad at that point of time, I wouldn't have sold the brand." It's 450 crores now. And then they bought a brand for 50 crores, which is now 850 crores. I was at their board meeting recently. Have a look at those. This is creativity at its best, madness.
देख लो बच्चों।
अरे ये बाद में पिलाना बाबा। बाबा ये क्या है बाबा? बाबा इतना तो टैक्सी में आने जाने का भाड़ा लग जाता है बाबा। हाँ मान गए भाई। बाबा पहले किसी के पास।
देखिए ये गलत बात है, देखिए।
हाँ कह रहे हैं हाँ। क्यों बाबा बड़ा है तो एक जीरो बड़ा है। एक और हाँ एक और बाबा लास्ट बस लास्ट भाई दवाई दे देना इनको
सिर्फ एक टपकती बूंद आपकी किस्मत बदल सकती है। घर में रखिए एमसी हमेशा।
डोंट वरी। आपको क्या लगता है ये टाइल्स का टूटना या उखड़ना छोटी सी प्रॉब्लम है? आप जब सीमेंट से टाइल्स को चिपकाते हैं तो ये टाइल्स लूज हो जाते हैं या फिर ऐसे बार बार गिरकर टूटते रहते हैं। जब टाइल्स टूटता है तो नया लाना पड़ता है, उसका खर्चा आपका दिमाग गर्म कर देता है। और सेम डिजाइन का टाइल्स ना मिले तो आपका घर घर नहीं म्यूजियम लगने लगता है। लोग तरह तरह की बातें करते हैं। इन सब बातों को सुन के दिमाग और भी गर्म हो जाता है। और जब आपका दिमाग गर्म हो जाता है तो हर एक बात पे आपको गुस्सा आ जाता है और लोग समझते हैं कि आप पागल हैं।
तू फिर से आज डॉक्टर बन गया?
पापा
अरे ले जाओ उसे। एक बात बताऊं, ये आदमी ऑफ जरूर था लेकिन बात 100% सही कह रहा था। आप है ना टाइल्स रॉफ से चिपकाइए, रॉफ की पकड़ में जकड़ है। लेकिन आप सीमेंट से चिपकाते हैं ना, इसीलिए सीमेंट से चिपकाने से क्या होता है, वो जो टाइल्स है वो गिर जाती है और टाइल्स गिर जाती है तो वो टूट जाती है और टूट जाने के बाद नहीं लानी पड़ती है। नहीं लाने के बाद नहीं ये बात पैसे करते हैं। पैसे के लिए क्या करना पड़ता है क्या नहीं करना। तू भी डॉक्टर बन गया? मम्मी मम्मी
सीमेंट से बेटर है रॉफ की पकड़, क्योंकि रॉफ में है मगर की जकड़।
We fought cases with the court also on these. But that's magic. That's magic. This is the brand that's become 850 crores in a couple of years of time. And I also believe that you guys are on a very good wicket because you're doing new things, which is attracting the image makers. 10 days back, I saw Carrot Lane associating with Titan. Titan brings in the image. They bring in a great product. You got both going. And I saw the valuation. I said, bloody hell, this is not a Carrot Lane, it's a Carrot Highway. And then yesterday I was watching television and I read about Sanjeev Puri, wanting to invest money in some 45 new guys like you. So I think there is a magic in you. There is embrace that you need, that the world needs from you. And lot is ahead if you do not focus on only one thing which has been defined in the books. I don't read books. I read people. And I think if I read people and I read your business, I think there's a lot that you're going for you in the times ahead. Time's up by 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks all.